To be fair, though, high school was a ruthless time. I know that we're not touching on high school. I still remember, I reckon it was year 9.
Yeah.
Just go to the toilets, just to the urinal, just doing what you do.
Yeah.
I wash my hands, and this guy goes, "Oi, mate, where are your eyebrows?" I just stare. Picture this shot. I'm here.
Mate, what's going on?
Not a lot, bro. Not a lot. What's been happening?
Not too much,
What's
mate.
news?
I had KFC today,
We had KFC.
We did.
Come on.
and I feel like I'm going to regret it.
Oh, that's always the battle,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I feel like I'm going to regret it. It was good. I've been on a real zinger stacker burger by
Yeah,
itself
you have
lately.
been.
Too much. And I think I just think it's going to really turn on me.
Yeah,
reckon?
badly.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to get sick.
Just waiting for like the one time that it's really bad, and then you like put it off forever.
I've said this a billion times, and I'll keep repeating myself. There needs to be a fast food restaurant that is healthy sandwiches and just like a Boost Juice.
So healthy habits,
Exactly. Boost Juice meets healthy habits.
but not at the price of Boost Juice and or healthy habits.
Fuck, they've got
Discounted.
expensive, haven't they?
Boost was ridiculous, man. I know you told me, just quickly touching on Boost, you did tell me that a Boost Juice was like $8.
$8.50, I think.
Yeah, I'm
Really passionate about it.
very angry. I got my 10th Boost and it wasn't free.
they
It was
do that
$1.50. I don't know. I thought they used to.
Think about that. That's That's roughly $90 worth
To
of
get
Boost.
one free one.
And I
Not
guarantee
worth.
they would stitch you and not even give you a regular size.
Because I got a Boost and my go-to is always Mango Magic.
Yeah,
And-
that's my boy.
And
That's
today,
my boy.
Today, well, not today. That's a lie. A week ago, I was like, I'm going to change it up. I got like the mixed berries one,
Okay.
and it wasn't bad,
Yep.
but Mango Magic is god tier of
Yeah.
like the Boost Juice.
Is
in
it
my
like
opinion.
when you go to a pub and you always order a Parma?
Oh,
I
110%.
feel like that's what it. And you've gone and I'm going to try that carbonara.
Yeah.
And look,
Don't try it.
It wasn't bad.
It was
but you-
okay, but it didn't satisfy my needs.
And you're watching your mate eat the Parma, and you're just going,
I knew I should have got the
I
Parma.
shouldn't have strayed.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have strayed.
I thought it'd be cool to mix it up.
Mm.
It's not cool.
What do you think if someone's going to a pub or a restaurant?
Yep.
What would the other go-to be other than a Parma? I feel like the Parma is just a staple, and you know why as well. You can't fuck it up.
Well, realistically, you
You'd
can't
have to
fuck
go
it up.
somewhere
However,
pretty shit.
if you are, can I get a Parma and gravy? The gravy can sometimes be the thing that gets fucked up. Sometimes it's like too liquidy. Maybe it's like a bit too
Clumpy?
yeah, that's probably great. That is a great word to
Thanks.
describe it.
Do we make
Yeah.
that our word of the day?
Word of the day, clumpy. Be sure to hit that up on Twitter if you're listening to this episode.
It's just a picture of me and you.
Also, clumpy. That's thumbnail. Oh shit! But anyways, we've known each other for quite some time.
When did it start? Oh, well, that's what we're going to talk about. How we met. So
I would say my earliest memory was year 8.
Yep.
In high school, we were doing soccer.
Yep.
We were just doing soccer actually.
Okay.
We did like the tournament, I guess, and then we went to zones.
Zones.
Yeah, we went to zones for soccer. Like like when you play like
school
three different
sports.
school sport,
And then
yeah.
zone.
And then
I
we
get
went to
ya.
zone because
Yep.
we had the one guy. He had that like infection on his hand. He was wearing like a plastic glove.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Real quick to touch on that.
It was very grim.
I did home ec with that guy, and he was willing to not use the glove. And I remember sitting there going, over my dead body. Keep in mind, his hand was just covered in scabs and disgusting. And he was ready to, we were doing pasta. He was going to crack the pasta. And I went, the fuck you are? Like,
Not with your parmesan cheese.
and yeah, his hand was gross. And I had to do home ec with him. And yeah, so, I forgot about that.
But that was my earliest memory. I used to rock, I would say it was a bit of a mullet back in the day. I also used to have hair, hence why I'm wearing a hat nowadays. Very self-conscious. But that's the earliest memory. But then I wouldn't really say we were like, I knew of you.
I think you may have remembered the mullet because I had a mullet in year 7.
Oh, it was a grass mullet.
Because I used to live out the valley. I had a rocking mullet. No one ever cared.
Had it. You know what? If you were rocking the mullet, see
these days,
it'd be like, wow, that guy's so hot.
Yeah.
Like straight up though, like you
the
would
trend
though.
came back. And
you're like, bitch. I was doing the trend before it was a trend.
Yeah.
I used to get teased.
I would get teased. But real quick, when I lived out in the valley, I wouldn't get. No one would say anything. It was just a mullet, right? Because I was out in the valley, and then obviously I went to a school closer to the city, obviously, and when I went to the school, apparently the mullet's not the trend at all.
Yeah, no, well, it wasn't,
and
not then.
I went from a class of like, a school maybe of 100 to 150, not a lot.
Yeah, man, and you pretty much knew everyone.
Yeah. To a high school of thousands. So
you're a tiny little pleb.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, high school was a ruthless time. I know that we're not touching on high school. I still remember, I reckon it was year 9.
Yeah.
Just go to the toilets, just to the urinal, just doing what you do.
Yeah.
I wash my hands, and this guy goes, "Oi, mate, where are your eyebrows?" I just stared. Picture this shot. I'm here. I just took a piss. Just like wash my hands because I'm not a grod. just soap wash. Just turn around, go to the dryer. Oi, mate, nice eyebrows. I'm like, where the fuck did that come from?
And you just start thinking about
and now still to this day, people are like, "Oh, bro, nice eyebrows." And it's true. I'm genuinely there. I just like picture myself back in the bathroom, like
trembling.
Yeah, got the shakes,
twitchy.
Like, bro, you're on. I'm gonna kill you.
I had one once when I remember in year 7, I went to the first time I ever went to the canteen, and I never had I never had a canteen or anything out in the valley. It was packed lunch, and I remember every second Monday you could order a sausage roll
with a brown paper bag.
With a brown paper bag.
Yeah, you get your chucky milk.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, those were the days.
That's all I had. So when I went to high school and got a canteen, I had a few bucks. I'm like, and I'm seeing kids have lollies and everything. I'm like, fantastic. So I go to the canteen by myself, little guy, walk up and I see all these lollies, Coke bottles, everything. I'm like, fantastic. And then I'm about to order and I just feel these 2 massive hands on my cheeks. And I look around and then he's ducked back behind a few other people, looked at me, waved, and then walked off. And, mate, I hated it. I didn't like it at all.
You go back to the canteen for till you're 12. Even by then you're still like, where is he?
Mate, if I took it the way it was today's stance, he'd be in jail now.
No,
he would be in actual jail.
110%.
He ruined the canteen experience for me. I'm just eating my little peach hearts and I'm just so upset.
Dude, those peach rings and apple rings. Our canteen really was pretty bad in the early days because I used to rock up to school $2 every single day. Thank you, Mum. And I'd either get there and it was like 3 potato cakes, barbecue sauce, $2. And mind you, those things slapped. The canteen did it before school body started. Yeah. I reckon, hence why I'm so massive today is because of all those 3 potato cakes for $2 at bloody like 8 o'clock in the morning.
You just smashed potato cakes in the morning.
So bad, man.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was like that.
I couldn't think of anything. Potato cakes in the morning.
I wasn't a breakfast person, but mate, I don't know. It was just, especially in New South, I feel like the potato cakes got worse.
They did.
As we like got older at the canteen.
They definitely
the
got
Palmer
cheaper.
rolls are pretty good, and salad rolls with like some mayo, they slapped. Wedges Wednesday was whoever came up with that idea needs to get dropped. Like, I'm sorry, but there was nothing I hated. I would get so excited. I've saved my $2. I've got $6 now on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot
from the
wait.
$2 from your mum every day.
And I was like, I cannot wait to get like a triple potato cake roll barbecue sauce. By the way, if you haven't had one, try one. They're bloody amazing.
Yeah.
And I get there and it'd be like, we're not doing potato cakes today. It's Wedges Wednesday. And it's like, I'm sorry? And they're like, it's Wedges Wednesday. Do you want wedges? Bag of wedges is $3. If you want sour cream and sweet chili sauce, it's $3.50. I'm like, I'm just gonna go fucking starving instead. Like, this is a joke.
Hey, there was some people who would have loved the Wedges Wednesday.
Oh yeah, there was, but
it's
just, you don't what you don't want that.
Yeah,
and $2 just to get you like legitimately again, I'd get to school at, I think maybe like 8:10, 8:15. First thing I do, go to the canteen. My $2, get myself just Coke bottles. And like, you got a generous amount.
I was just about to say, back in the day,
it felt like I got a lot for my $2.
When we were in year 7, $2 for a bag of lollies from the canteen was like this.
Well, I used to put it in my pencil case, and then during periods 1 and 2, I'd just be like, like that.
I didn't know you ate so much in high school.
Oh, dude, terrible. Year 7 and 8, it was a bad time.
You smashing potato cake rolls at 8 a.m. and then you sneaking little peach
so
hearts
bad.
in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a reflection.
No, disappointment, but yeah, no, it was a time.
Yeah, what were we talking about? Oh, how we met.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Do you know what I do remember? This just sparked just then. I remember you wanted once to stick up for me. You said you were going to, and this might ring a bell. When we did go to soccer, this might have been a different time. You know the shin guards?
Yes.
I was the only one to wear them outside my socks. And I was running. I had no idea. So everyone's got them underneath their socks. I've got them.
You went the other way,
Yeah,
which kind of a lot of people do nowadays, by the way.
Do they now? Another trend I started.
Sure. Boom.
I was just at the wrong times for it.
Yeah.
And anyway, I remember coming back and you telling me and being like, "Oh man, your shin guards like they're outside, like over your socks." I'm like, "Oh," and he's like, "Yeah, those guys were saying something." I wanted to say something. I was gonna, but yeah, it just either pissed me off. And I'm like, "Oh, it's sweet of you that you wanted to say something."
I didn't even know that I did that. So it's just news to me.
Bro, I saw you got stabbed outside the club, and I saw them run off. I was going to chase them. I really wanted to. But
they did have a knife.
Yeah, they did have a knife, but I swear to God, not in a different world.
I still remember when we played zones, and one of the guys in the soccer team was playing. He just randomly like handballed the ball. Yeah. He got yellow carded. I don't remember. Like, this guy loved food, by the way.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that you've caught on to the person I'm talking about.
I think so.
Remember, he's like, we go to the canteen at zones. He gets his food, that's fine. And then we're like coming back to the high school. So he wanted to stop at Maccas. Yeah. Everyone else was like, no. And he got like real, like genuine mad. And he's like, I want to go to Maccas. I was just like, mate, we think you've had enough to eat today. We were horrible. I don't know why. Like, it just came into my head. It was a lot funnier in my head than
yeah, I thought there was going to be a massive punchline.
No, I wish there was. But as per usual, I was disappointed. So, no, I'm sorry. But no, we have known each other for quite some time.
Well, I remember I don't remember how we met.
I can't, like the proper.
But I do remember the first time I asked you to come over for a sleepover. Real quick, do kids still do that these days? Do they have, because there's so much social technology and video games and everything, a sleepover still
I don't know, because I feel like when we used to, it was kind of cool to take it in turns of playing like a COD or whatever when I was staying the night at yours, but I feel like nowadays, could be wrong, I've got no idea, but I feel like the kids of today probably more or less would be like, no, because I want to level up my guy while you level up your guy. Like, I don't want to take it in turns.
Gee, I was about to say.
And split screen gaming was very, like, it was still like a thing.
Well, it was the best of what we could get. There was no other option. But that's the same. Let's say we both love playing Fall Guys. Now, I couldn't see kids going, oh, let's go up and play together. I could definitely see them going, I'm going to go home. You go home. Let's jump on Xbox or PlayStation and let's play all night. Yeah. So I don't think that the classic sleepover would be as popular.
Even when
but I also don't spend that much time around kids, so I don't
I hope you wouldn't.
I have no clue.
Even like when I ride the estate or wherever where I live, I remember, just touching on that subject very quickly, I remember when I was a kid, it was school holidays, man, and my mates and myself, we would always ride the estate, kick a footy, go to the oval, play cricket, shoot the basketball, all that stuff. I swear to God, I reckon I'm lucky to see 10 kids outside during the school holiday. I'm genuinely like,
they're on Fortnite.
Am I going to go? Like, what happened? You'll see the odd one that's like down at the park, the footy oval or whatever, and a lot of the time it's like, and to the point though where it's sort of weird, but like they'll be like, hey, how's it going, sort of thing, and you're just like, hi. Just because I'm almost not used to the interaction anyway. Just don't see them.
Yeah.
Even after school.
Yeah.
We used to go riding and all. I never see that when I finish work now at like 5, 4 o'clock, whatever. There just isn't like, they're walking home, I guess, but like you don't actually then see them like as a group with their mates.
Yeah. You're definitely right. I don't see that many kids out these days either. But if I think about it, if I had the technology they had at my age...
Oh, I know for a fact I probably wouldn't be going outside that much.
I wouldn't have gone outside that much either.
Well, it'd be the same. Like whenever because my mum was a bit different when it came to online gaming, for better or for worse, because there's hackers out there, Lee, and I don't want us to get hacked. So I used to have to, if I went to online, I had like my internet call was bloody ridiculous, like very, very, very long. I didn't have the little Wi-Fi dongle thingy for my 360, so I couldn't just sneak gaming online. We didn't have wireless for like ages as well. So I used to have to plug it in, and I was max, I reckon, on a good day, lucky to play an hour online. An hour online is next to nothing, by the way, Mum. Not sure if you know that or not.
Don't even me start. I remember the exact... We bonded over that because I
because you thought it was preposterous because you're like, man, I just go home and I just play.
Yeah.
And my mind was genuinely like, there is no way. What is this? You live in a fantasy land. Do you even have parents? Like, what the hell is going on?
Before that, mate, I remember I had the same issues as you because when I would live out in the valley, so any time, because my mum had spurts with it. My mum had moments where maybe, I don't know if she watched Oprah or Ellen, where there was some
bullshit on Channel 7 News.
Something on Channel 7.
Ridiculous.
And she goes
Tracy Grimshaw's there again. She's like, is your son talking to adults online?
Exactly.
And then your mum's like, you better not be talking to adults online. And you're like, Craig, how old are you? He's like, I'm 12.
Craig said he's 12, Mum. He's fine.
He's fine. He wants me to come over.
So, mate, I remember my mum would have these moments, and she would go, we're doing something new. You're getting half an hour of gaming a day. Now, these days, people will understand because so many people game now, not as many back in the day. If it's half an hour, that is you loading in, and you might get 2 games, 3
if you're
best.
lucky.
If you're lucky.
That's like 1 game of League of Legends, by the way, at best.
Mate, so especially if my friends weren't online either.
Oh.
So I've just wasted my time. She would come in, she'd say, all right, now it's time. I would sit there and go, this makes literally no sense. But not only that, what would piss me off the most is because I was so far out and I had no mates that lived close to me and I had no mobile phone to text and say, hey, come over, I would sit there and go, what do you want me to do? Go outside. And do what? Kick a ball by myself.
Run in my paddocks?
Yeah. Literally run around the paddocks. That would be it. And if it wasn't that, she was fine with me sitting down and watching daytime television.
That's the one thing. It's funny you mention that too.
Any
because
sense?
My old man, not so much now, but he would always be like, oh, you're in your room, all you're doing is gaming, blah, 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 blah. But I would walk out of my room, TV, picture this, TV in front, and he's just like this. I'm like, you're genuinely doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm happy to watch the TV with my family. I actually don't mind watching TV as with the family, whatever.
Yeah.
But if it's something that I'm not interested in, why would I sit down and waste my time? My time. Mate. I'm sorry, but like, if it's the footy or whatever, I love the footy. If it's sport related, I might sit down for a quarter or 2.
Yeah.
Chat and all that. But if my mates hit me up to be like, wait, man, we're playing some COD, we're playing clubs, whatever, I'm going to be like, look, I'm having a great time, but like, I know that I'm going to have a 10 time. And if worse comes to worse, the game's pissing me off, I'm not having a good, it's just doing my head in, I'll just walk out, I'll sit back down.
Mate.
But don't make me watch some history bullshit thing that I don't care about.
Can you, like, it doesn't make, I think maybe this is what we bonded over so strongly and that's why we become mates, because I would sit there and if I went out, I would go, okay, so I was socialising with friends, making new friends because, say, one of them had another friend from another group. We're all playing online together. So I'm talking to like 4 other different people.
6 mans and
there's no one else to catch up with in real life at the moment. It's 5:30.
Well, especially where you were.
Especially where I was.
Yeah, unfortunately,
yeah. And again, there was no... I didn't have a mobile phone or anything. So there was no texting going, hey, you free? None of that. It was just hoping that plans got made beforehand.
And isn't it funny as well? Because like our parents would be so cautious of gaming online. We could only have a half an hour limit to that. But yet we could watch episodes upon episodes of Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh! On YouTube. We could deep dive YouTube for 3 hours and that was okay.
Makes no sense.
But gaming online, not okay.
Again, I think it comes back to whatever they saw in ACR today.
Big time.
It just and it's the same with articles these days. I guarantee parents see all this stuff going
The worst
out.
part is, the thing that I always hated is, dinner's ready, can't you just pause it? You know the best part about that is? When or if I have children, same as yourself, if our child was like,
our child?
We might adopt, I don't know. But because I could be like, oi, it's dinner, pause the game. And they'll be like, I can't pause it, it's an on. I'll be like, all right, just have dinner once the game's done. Because I'll be like, I know that you can't pause it.
Exactly.
So you know what? Just finish it and then have your dinner.
And because most times, if you can't pause it, give it 1 to maybe 3 minutes and then you're done. I promise you.
The worst part is when your parent would stand in front of the and you'd be like, what are you actually doing?
Yeah.
And then like, well, what's the matter? You can't see. It's like, clearly I can't see. And the worst as well is like you're on a like little nuke streak, 23 kills.
Yep.
Your palms are sweaty, you're shaking a bit. And then someone comes in, they're just, what are you doing in front? And it's like, knifed. Or like, just shot, and you're like.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the worst, especially when you're in an important moment. And for them, it was never important, ever.
Oh, it was always
and they could never
stupid,
comprehend it.
Yeah, it was just always like, do you want linguine or penne? And I'm like, I just want fucking pasta. Like, I don't care.
They're all the same. Get out of my room.
Yeah, just boil it for 30, add some salt. As long as don't stick to the pan, I'll just stick it to the wall. When it's done, it's done. We'll do it live.
And, you know how you were saying before that parents were worried about you playing with, older people are getting hacked?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mate, this one I did understand because I screwed up. I remember.
I love this story. If it's the story that I think you're about to tell the world.
Mate, I remember that when I made my first gamertag, I made it my full name and then
Everybody's a joke.
in the first 3 numbers of my street address.
Oh.
Right? So I jumped online and I remember I'm playing and there's obviously game chat and I wasn't talking or anything. My dad came in and he's like, again, probably ACA or Today Tonight, do people know where you live or how do people, they could know your name and everything? I'm like, no, they don't. And then let's say it's George Bailey Smith. I just hear on the TV, yo, George Bailey Smith, just pick up that gun. George Bailey Smith. 367, pick up that gun. And I just look at my dad and I'm like,
no.
I'll change it tomorrow. So I had to go shovel horse poo to save up enough money to get
because Microsoft points were bloody expensive.
Microsoft points were expensive.
Like $30 for 1,500.
And that's how much it
your
cost
gamer
to change
tag,
my name.
which is ridiculous, by the way.
Yeah. So,
our first catch up, because year 10 is where we like officially sort of became pretty good mates, and then it sort of more or less grew from there. But the first time catching up, I just remember being amazed by that you were allowed to just play your Xbox for. I remember you're just like, yeah, man, go for it, play as much as you want. And I was like, oh my God, I am cracked. Like, if there's a heaven, this is heaven. Because back then, by the way, gaming used to be such a big part of my life.
Yeah.
So to be able to do that, whereas now, if you're like, yeah, man, play as much as you want, unless it's like if you were online and we're playing together, I'd probably be like, no, I'd rather do something else.
Well, back in the day, it was so different in the way, okay, you want to watch a TV show, you've got to wait to watch it on Tuesday night, 8:30, and then you've got to wait another week. So you get that momentum to build up and you get excited for a TV show. Same with gaming. You're only allowed an hour, 2 hours a night. So you only have a certain amount of time each day. It's not whenever, however you want to play. Because these days, Netflix, Stan, Disney Plus, there is too much to choose from, and I actually don't watch it as much. Same with gaming.
It's funny, and it's going to sound stupid. My watch list on Disney Plus and Netflix is ridiculous, and I keep on telling myself, I think you were doing it for quite a while. I'm pretty sure I recall you were like, yeah, man, I'm doing like this daily thing where it's like read a page, meditate, try to watch a new episode of a show.
Yep.
Or like, and then continue the show until it's done. I think you were doing it for a while, and I was like, fuck, that's a great philosophy. I really like that. I want to try and implement that to myself. My issue is, I don't know if anyone's the same when it comes to YouTube, if you have a YouTube account. I will, every single day in the morning, at work or whatever, even now at the missus' place, even when I'm at home, I'll open up YouTube and I'll go, watch later. So, for example, tonight after we're done here, I'll go home and I might be scrolling through Twitter, following a few things, tweeting some tweets out for the business and whatnot. And while I'm doing that, I'll then go to my watch later. But for whatever reason, and I seriously cannot explain it, and it's really stupid how my brain's wired, I would much rather watch my watch later videos first on YouTube and like before I watch a TV series.
No.
So like instead of like say like I want to watch Peaky Blinders, I'll be like I want to watch episode 1.
Yep.
But before I watch episode 1, I need to watch 3 hours of YouTube.
And
I'll watch.
It's because there's a bigger commitment in your head. You look at one where an episode is 45 minutes, but you can look at YouTube videos which are 5, 10, 15. So I think it's that.
But then I'll get annoyed because it's just like, oh, my watch list is forever growing.
Yeah.
And I feel like I just keep on putting it back and back and back to the point that by the time I'm watching Peaky Blinders, the conversation's dead. It's done. No one wants to talk about it anymore. I'm late to the party.
Yeah.
I can't have that discussion about how good was this episode. I don't know. It was like when we used to watch Arrow all the time.
Yeah, week by week.
And Flash. And it was so fun. Like, it was grouse. Like, you'd have your little catch up with your mates. You'd be chatting about it, discussing it, coming up with all these theories. Oh, my God, what's going to happen next? Who are they going to introduce?
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, it's just like, I don't know. Like, I'm not like that at all anymore.
Yeah. I get where you're coming from with that. And with these days, I think the more shows that come out, it's more everyone binges them in a day.
Oh, it's ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
it's
same
actually,
with Stranger Things. The new
cruel.
season came out and people just binged it in a day, 2 days.
Do you think it would work better? And I get that there'd be quite a bit of uproar. Do you think it would work better though if they released episode week by week again? Well, bring that format back.
They do that with Disney Plus shows, don't they?
Yeah, they do. That's what I've been doing. Like a good mate of mine and myself, whenever it was the new Marvel TV series, even like the Book of Boba, Obi-Wan, Mandalorian, every single we would, I think, wait till Friday because we would watch like the episode of Mandalorian and then we would watch the new Marvel show. However, my mate and myself, we are behind in Miss Marvel by like 4 episodes, I think.
Well,
and that used to be fun because then like after the episode would finish, because we would watch it on PlayStation, so I'm on the headset stuff, and then after the episode was done, we'd like discuss about it and all the theories. And then me being me, I don't know how many people are out there who do this as well, but Emergency Awesome or New Rock Stars, want to find out those Easter eggs and the theories. But then what I started to realise is I'm wasting so much bloody time listening to all these theories, and it actually got to the point where I'm like, ugh, I don't really care. Like, I just want to know what's going on. I don't really give a shit about all these theories.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't want to know. It's like, ooh, why did Thanos have all the powers? I really been playing then. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't really care. Like, just tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
Or it's like, the Real Cell brothers said that Ant-Man's going to be with Thanos this week. And it's just like, ugh. And it's just theory after theory after theory. And it's just like, nah. No thanks.
Yeah, it's gotten a bit out of hand. I personally love TikTok, but one of TikTok's biggest downsides is that if a new show comes out that I want to watch, and for some reason, let's say you have a girlfriend or you're watching it with a mate and you're taking your time, you can't watch it straight away, you will most likely, 70%, 80%, gets that show spoiled for you on TikTok.
I remember...
Or Facebook, some comment.
The new Spider-Man dropped. And I remember, I was like, I must admit, I have a TikTok, but I'm weird with TikTok. There will be days where I'm on it a lot, but then I might not touch TikTok for the next week.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, it's not an app that it's not a go-to app for me personally. I can understand why it is for some, though. I completely understand. But every time there's a movie or whatever, I'm always like, oh, no thank you. Like, you just know that you're up shit creek and something's going to get spoiled. It happens far too often.
I reckon we do that next episode, talk about spoilers, because these days, everything does get completely spoiled in so many ways. in so many ways.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It's too much because I got Endgame spoiled for me. I got Spider-Man.
Spider-Man
was spoiled, but it didn't look real, so people didn't believe it. But it actually was a spoiler. Andrew Garfield being on that rooftop.
Yeah, I remember I got the scene of Charlie Cox, Daredevil, being introduced.
Yeah, that's a massive one. Even if it's a fight,
because I love Daredevil myself, so I was just like, oh, it'd be cool to see him like tie in. Because I know Spider-Man and Daredevil obviously have a connection. Also, I guess Rip if you haven't seen it. But when I saw that on TikTok, I was like, oh my God. But then at the same time, then when I was in the movie, because I was like, oh,
I know what's going to happen.
I know what's going to come up here.
Yeah. We'll make that the next topic. We'll talk about spoilers in the next one. All right, time's up, Bass.
Easy. Boy.